This chapter signifies the end of Volume 48 and really ends on a down and somber tone as the Straw Hat Pirates appear to be defeated.
One Piece, Chapter 470, Oars versus Straw Hat Pirates.
Oars! Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review. This one is the ending, the last chapter, of course, of Volume 48, on the magnificent, the wonderful, and oars-filled tale of One Piece. Now, following the events of the last chapter, which all wound up culminating in the crew being reunited, so to speak, while Luffy went off to do his thing, and Nami, of course, has been snatched by Absalom the pervert again, because he's trying to stick his finger up her butt, or whatever his deal is, who knows. We wind up, going and seeing Oars just tearing buildings and shit apart, stepping through. This dude's as huge as a building, right? And just a huge force to be reckoned with, and now seems to be fully under the control of Gecko Moria. It doesn't seem like there's any of that Luffy left in him, sort of that playful nature that we saw in the first several chapters since, obviously he was introduced a volume or two ago. So anyway, the chapter wound up leaving off with everyone being like, oh, we're gonna have to fight that thing, and Zoro kind of being like, yeah, bring it on. That's how things leave off, and this is where things pick up, sorry. Sometimes my brain doesn't communicate properly with my mouth, and the words that come out are not actually the ones that my brain sent, so it's just a bad mail delivery system sometimes. So, this chapter, though, although very action-packed, it ends off the volume on a very downtrodden, somber note. And that's fine. You have to have the good, you have to have the bad, you have to have the we almost died, or you have to have the loss to get the gain, you know what I mean, to truly feel the gain. If it was always just a win-win-win, it wouldn't be realistic, it wouldn't be plausible, and it wouldn't be entertaining. So you don't want to just see them always kicking ass and taking names. However, this chapter, again, for what it is worth, is very downtrodden in the sense that first, Oars has got his eyes on Sanji, and the funniest part of the chapter is he goes and looks on his arm at the wanted poster, and Sanji's wanted poster is this badly sketched, drawn picture of what looks sort of like a fat Norwegian guy, like an overweight Norwegian guy. And then he shows, Sanji, and he's a little more kind of clean cut and looks good and everything like that, a thinner face, and he's just like, they're identical. And that's kind of the running joke, is that everybody's like, oh, that looks exactly like Sanji. And it doesn't. It looks nothing like Sanji, So, anyways, so Sanji winds up coming at him and just going, boom, kicking him right upside the head. And that doesn't do much. He winds up going and grabbing Sanji, snatching him out of midair, and he's holding him upside down, about to just crush him and crush the life out of him, right? And we see, Zoro and Brook and Frankie are still in this tower, a couple 100 feet away or whatever. And even though Oars is gigantic, they're not within distance to do much of anything. Frankie winds up starting to fire at him a couple times, but this Oars is surprisingly agile and has great maneuverability. Maybe because of the shadow of Luffy, maybe just because even when he was alive 500 years ago in his prime, he was just fucking big and fast. I don't know. Alls I know is he's able to dodge most of what comes at him, and then what does actually connect with him doesn't do a whole bit of good. So Sanji's about to be crushed and just die, right, in general, and all of a sudden Sniper King comes out with a fire star, and is able to actually temporarily distract Oars and get him to drop Sanji. He then goes and winds up, take this, and he fires a salt pellet right into his mouth, and you're thinking, oh man, that was easy. No, Gotta say the password. Anyway, it's from a little Jurassic Park throwback there with Dennis Nedry. But anyway, hang on to your butts. But the whole idea, though, behind it is that, you have to have, based on the size, I guess the size and the weight, one little salt pellet wouldn't do it. They need more. They need like a salt truck to actually go and to get the, the shadow to leave the body of this gigantic beast, right? Now, plausible, not really, but I guess in the sense of, size does matter and whatnot, I guess it does make sense, in that regard. So anyway, he winds up coming at and pretty much systematically just defeating and taking out everybody else. Even Zoro winds up coming at him with the one gorilla, two gorilla, and he freaking does a Popeye where all of a sudden he's just boom, boom, and just the guns pop out, right? And then all of a sudden he's just the two gorilla cross slash whatever the fuck, and it looks like he's gonna go and take Oars' head off, right? Doesn't do anything to him. Doesn't do anything at all. Zoro's fallen to his doom. He winds up getting Frankie's firing weapons left, and he thinks he's got him in his sights, keeps moving. Oars is tearing down buildings, taking people out left and right. And really, the culmination of it is, and Zoro's falling to his death, right? Chopper sees this, he's, oh shit, Zoro's falling to his death! And then Robin goes and winds up saving him with his spider net. Again, very inventive. I thought the wings were very cool that we saw like 20 chapters or so ago from her. I'm liking the uses and the applications of her powers more and more, because honestly, the sky's the limit when you can sprout a limb from anywhere, right? I mean, you could do a lot of different crazy things. Some of them crazy, some of them awesome, some of them perverted, but the point is there's really limitless possibilities with someone who has that type of power as she has, and I thought it was cool to have her arms go and form this net and actually catch Zoro and keep him from falling to his death. Now, this is a dude that can go and, he can lift up a building, right? But he can't take like a 50-foot fall. Hey, shit happens. I understand how it works. I play video games too. Same shit happens in there. I can take 472 shots to the chest, right, and just heal up by getting behind something in Battlefield or in Call of Duty type thing. But God forbid I drop down from more than 10 feet. I break my fucking ankles and die, right? So anyway, same type of mentality here when it comes to that. But the chapter winds up wrapping up, though, again, in a very downtrodden, somber fashion as we go and we see, one of the last pictures that we see of the actual volume over here is everybody just a double page spread, and everybody on one side just all knocked out, laid out, put out, right? And then Oars, who's just like, I am Master Moria's servant, Oars! And he's just like, I don't know any of you. And the funny part is prior to that, he went and he was just like, I'm Oars, nice to meet you. So there's still some of that, like that overwhelming, childlike awesomeness that is Luffy inside of him. It's just going to be a matter of trying to get that to come out, trying to get that to come to the forefront, to come out and to be able to get through to this, what seems like a mindless beast right now. But ultimately, that wraps around, though, to my chapter question over here. And what are your thoughts on the chapter like this, where you go and you see everyone defeated? I feel it's a necessary evil, as I spoke earlier in the video about, that you got to have the downs, you got to experience the lows to really feel the highs, And for me, seeing everybody knocked out, although very disheartening, I feel like Oda's going to do a great job in the next volume or two of bringing everybody back up and bringing things full circle, as he usually does. I just wanted to know ultimately what your thoughts are on these kind of downtrodden, almost negative chapters, in the sense that one of your favorite Straw Hats, or the entire crew in this case for the most part, except for Luffy, is either, he's either been knocked unconscious or is being, molested, which is obviously what we think would be happening to Nami right now. So let me know what your answer to that question is in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation. Yo, thanks for watching. Remember to check me out on my other channels and Facebook and Twitter too.